I just watched all of Sasaki and Miyano. So, this review might be super convoluted and chaotic because I just spent a whole day watching 13 episodes of an anime plus an hour long movie. So, I'm a little bit tired, but I started it and just could not stop because it was so freaking cute. And I knew from the beginning that I was probably just gonna do a really long review at the end. I didn't think I would stop and review and stop and review just because the episodes are so short. So there's no consistency in the style of how I do my videos in that. So I did little notes per, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but per episode. But overall, it's such a cute show. It's been on my watch list for a really long time, essentially since it came out. But it gave me Horimiya vibes, obviously gay Horimiya vibes. So I really wanted to watch it, and I'm a BL fan, so I was like, anime BL, I'm gonna have fun. So I really liked it. I think the two of them are just so cute. They're so adorable together. They're so cute. And just the way that the show progressed, because the first three episodes are really, really fast in terms of the timeline, because essentially it's over the span of 2 years, and basically a whole year goes by within three episodes, and then it takes a really long time to go through the other the rest of the second year, which makes sense in terms of the first year is them being friends, and Sasaki has this crush on Miyano, but he doesn't quite understand it, and then he finally decides to confess to him in the fifth episode within the second year, because it's right before summer break. So I thought that was really interesting, the way that it progresses. But it was a pacing that kind of worked, because it was fast forward through the friendship, which I wish we had gotten more of, but because it's an anime and it's only 13 episodes long, it makes sense that they didn't do it. So it's fast forward through the friendship and then slow down with the actual relationship that they're going through, which I did really like that and stuff like that. So I have silly little notes. My first one is Sasaki falling for Miyano and not realizing why. And then a note that I've just talked about how Hinano treats Sasaki like a dog. These are all my episode 1 notes. So I loved Hinano. Hinano is so funny, but he's so harsh towards everyone, but in a good way. He's a tough love kind of guy, where he's I'm gonna beat your ass, but so you get better grades, or you actually show up to school on time and stuff like that. Or with his roommate, but he's so much nicer to Kagi than he is to everybody else. With everybody else, he's I will beat the shit out of you. And with Kagi, he's can you just get up? And then Kagi's but you gotta put the earrings on first. And he's okay, but afterwards, you gotta get up. Which I thought was really, really cute. And then within the first episode, I liked the way that one was set up. Because it was set up, I think, a good couple months in the time frame of it, but it's essentially it's from Sasaki's perspective for the most part, of him thinking back to meeting Miyano and how their friendship occurred and how he started to have the crush on Miyano and how that progressed. And I really like that, because there was a really nice back and forth between that I really enjoyed. So I was kind of glad that we had that. I really liked the pacing of the show. I thought it was really awesome. And then I also like how, not just with the pacing, but also how the anime shows you the passage of time. So of course, they could be on the nose, they talk about certain time frames, summer break just ended or Christmas is about to start, but there are other parts where they show the trees, and the trees have moved from green to orange, and then to the cherry blossoms and stuff like that. So it shows you through that the passage of time. It's it was summer, and then it's fall, and now it's spring again, and how that works out. And that is just it's been here's how long everything's been going, because I feel if we didn't have the tree showing us the passage of time, especially with the first 3 episodes, it would be really confusing to tell how long it's been. And so I'm really glad that we have that. So I liked that. I just love the interactions that they have with each other. Like Miyano talking about how much he hates sweet stuff, but then with like Pocky and the hot cocoa, he's like willing to try sweeter stuff or like risk it for Sasaki and stuff like that, which I thought was really cute. It's like he's willing to try new things for Sasaki, and then Sasaki, I think, in a way, I wouldn't say that he's willing to try like new BL. Like I think he's intrigued by it, but he's willing to learn what BL Miyano likes because of that, and so I did really enjoy that. So I liked that, and I was not expecting a slow burn. I don't know why I wasn't expecting a slow burn, but it's like Sasaki has a crush, and Miyano's starting to notice the little things, but every time Sasaki flirts with him, he thinks he's joking, or he's like, it's because of the BL that we're reading. And then Sasaki, like, actually confesses, and it takes, 7 fucking episodes to get back to him, which I understand. I'm like, okay, you need time. But Sasaki's got a hell of a lot more patience than I think anybody else does. I was like, that's wild. Because I did the math, which is that Sasaki confessed right before summer break. Summer break usually happens in July. And Miyano didn't get back to him until after Christmas, which, or actually, no, it was after New Year's, which means that it was like January. So Sasaki had been waiting for 6 whole months for Miyano to get back to him. In Miyano's defense, he tried to confess earlier, but Sasaki was busy, and then he got scared out of confessing because people were talking about how apparently if you get together just for Christmas, your relationship is doomed or whatever. So he didn't like confess to him on their exhibit date on Christmas or anything like that. But I was just like, I started getting frustrated with this boy. I was like, can you just tell him? Because I don't remember what episode it is, but I think he realizes in like episode 10 that he has a crush on Sasaki. So I was like, why are you waiting so long? I got so frustrated with that. I was like, dude, please. I'm begging you, tell him. And with that, I'm so mad we didn't get the exhibit date. I was like, I need this date. This date is cute, and I need it, and I wanted it, and we didn't get it, and I hated it. And I was just like, But yeah, I was not expecting. I don't know why I wasn't expecting a slow burn, but I was not expecting a slow burn. But I was here for it. It was cute. I have to be mentally prepared for a slow burn, and if I expect a slow burn, I expect slow. But I mean, like, when it comes to a 13 episode anime and they don't actually start being in a relationship until episode 12, like, that makes sense. So I'm like, okay, here it is. And then episode 13 I was not a fan of. I was like, yay, we get more content, but like, it was unnecessary. We got a lot of cats. I was here for all the cats. I was like, I love all these cats. These cats are very cute. I'm here for the cats. But like episode 13 I was not a fan of. I was like, I feel like they had an episode quota that they needed to meet, and so came up with like a nonsense filler episode that takes place before a good chunk of the other episodes and just randomly tacked it to the end and then added in like more context between Kagi and Hirano to like set that up, which I thought was what the movie was going to be about, and the beginning of it was, and then they were like, and now we're back to Sasaki and Miyano, and I was like, okay, so that was, like, obviously they're setting up some kind of, like, because I haven't read the manga, I probably will after this, but they're obviously setting up, like, a season 2, or, like, a spin-off show or something like that, so obviously it's for that, but it was kind of annoying. I mean, I really liked the graduation movie because it's cute. Like, we finally get to see them as a couple, and all of their friends finally finding out, and like parents and relatives finding out, which was nice. And then also just like how Sasaki graduating is affecting their relationship, which like not that badly. Obviously, it's just like nothing's gonna change too much. Like, he's gonna go off to college, but like he'll be back and Miyano can still see him and stuff like that. So that's where like that comes from. So it's not that big of a deal, but it was nice to see them as a couple, so I really, really liked that. And then I loved a lot of the other characters. Like, they were all great in their own way. Like, Hirono was hilarious. Kurosawa was really funny. I think he's a really good friend. And I want to meet his girlfriend, and I want everybody else to meet his girlfriend because he seems like, as much as he's like very obsessed with his girlfriend, he does seem like a really sweet boyfriend where he's like constantly going to the hospital to visit her. He's like picking up manga for her. He'll listen to her BL grind and like ask for recommendations and stuff like that. So I really like that. Like, he just seems like such a nice friend, and he's really funny, and he clocked Sasaki and Miyano's relationship so fast, which is like where he was able to help the two and stuff like that, and I really, really liked that. And then I loved Oga Sawada, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's also really funny. I love the fact that it takes until like basically the last scene of the graduation movie for him to call Miyano by his actual name. He just keeps calling him Fudanshi, which is hilarious. He's like, "It's the Fudanshi. Hello, Fudanshi." And it's so funny, but he like goes to Miyano for recommendations or like help with his girlfriend who's obsessed with BL, and it's so funny. And I really like the straight relationships in this show because obviously both of their girlfriends are really into BL, so they keep talking to Miyano about BL and stuff like that, but they're really cute relationships, and I find them fun. I wish we got to see more of them, but like it was just cute to like hear it from their side and how much they love their girlfriends and how they have different random relationship problems, mostly on Ogasawada's side. Like, Kurosawa seems to be going fine, but I found it so funny. I loved that so much. Like, those characters are just they were great. And then I really liked Hanzawa just because I wasn't. He scares me, but I also wasn't sure what his intentions were at the beginning. Like, the way that he was helping Miyano with the cross dressing competition made it sound like he might have had a crush on Miyano, and I was really confused at first, but then he was helping Miyano with realizing his own crush on Sasaki, so it wasn't that, and it like isn't explained later on in like a much later episode that it's like, oh, he has two brothers who are gay, and he didn't quite understand why. In a way, I think is how it went. And so I think through Miyano and Sasaki, he was able to see it's like, oh, this is the experience that his brothers are having, and he can understand it a little bit better. So that was nice, because I definitely at the beginning I was like, does Hanzawa have a crush on me? And I was like, no, he doesn't. But yeah, I thought it was nice that like everyone's trying to help Sasaki and Miyano with their relationship in different ways. So, or like Hirono will like essentially call Sasaki a moron every time he like fucks up his relationship with Miyano, which I think was really funny, and I find it hilarious. But they're all such supportive friends, and I really, really liked that. I have a note for episode 12 that at least Sasaki understands consent, because I think there's a couple times where he's like, I want to kiss Miyano, but he's asleep, and then he never does. Or actually no, for that one it's because he tried to kiss Miyano and then ran away essentially because he thought that Miyano was rejecting him. And he's like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have forced myself upon him. Like, this guy, he understands consent. But there is like an earlier one where like Miyano was asleep and he wanted to kiss him. And then he's like, no, I shouldn't do that because he's asleep and it's wrong. I'm like, yes, a man who understands consent. I love it. Overall, I really liked this anime. It was really cute. I'm definitely gonna read the manga. I really liked it. I thought everyone was adorable. I really liked all the characters. I like cute shows like that. Like, I think that's why it gave me Horimiya vibes. I will confess, I haven't seen Horimiya in fucking years. I still haven't seen season 2, but it sort of gave me that vibe of like a really cute couple with like really nice friends, and it's just there's hardly any conflict, which is what I liked. I was like, it's a cute it's a cute little story, and sometimes we just need a cute little story, and they're all so cute together. Or like, I loved the fact that every 2 seconds Sasuke looked like he was about to die because Miyano was so adorable. And there were a couple times where Miyano looked like he was gonna die because Sasuke was so adorable. I loved Sasaki's voice actor because the way that he like changes voices for different, like for when Sasuke's talking to different people is so fucking funny, and I loved it. And it's just I loved it, and I like the way that sort of like secretly brought in random BL tropes. Like we got the like sick trope, and obviously there's the school trope, and there's these are like friends to lovers kind of trope, and then with Kagi and Hideno it's like a roommate trope. And so I like that, and it constantly references so many different tropes to BLs, which I also really liked. It's just like the calls coming from inside the house. Or I think there's one episode where like Sasuke talks about how he discovered BL anime, and he was like, "That's kind of wild to watch an anime that's a BL." And I was like, "He says in an anime that's a BL." And I laughed. I thought it was so funny. But yeah, I really liked the show. It's just so cute. I haven't watched, like, I'm watching another anime right now, but it is not cute. I feel like I haven't watched an adorable anime in a really long time. So it was fun to just go back and watch one like this. And I probably will not binge watch an anime like that again. That was like 5 hours of anime in a day, which is a lot. I am not built for that anymore. I'm like, my binging anime days are over. So, but I really liked this. Yeah, I hope that this review is not super all over the place. I wrote a lot of notes, but I like partially can't read them because I have garbage handwriting, and also they're so out of context that like I feel like me referencing them wouldn't help. So I like originally was just going down the line of episodes, and I was like, no, we gotta scratch that because like some of these notes I don't even know what they're referenced to anymore. Because I started this at 8 in the morning and now it's 2 p.m. So if that shows you how long I've been at it, yeah, there's that. But I hope, I mean, there was some like of information in all of this. I just wanted an excuse to watch this anime and then talk about it, I guess. Mostly this gave me an excuse to watch the anime. These reviews are an excuse for me to finally cross things off of my watch list. I'm like, yes, I have to review them, and therefore that means I finally have to watch them. Because I was in a stump of just YouTube grind for like 6 months straight. So I'm like, now I'm actually watching shows again and enjoying TV shows again. So there's that, and this has been on my list essentially since the anime first came out. So I'm glad that I finally got to it. I really do hope that they make like a season 2 or a sequel show with Kagi and Hideno. I will definitely be adding the manga to my reading list, which I also have not touched in so long because I've been reading books instead of manga. I haven't read a manga in a hot minute, so I was like, I'll eventually get to it. But yeah, so I hope you liked this review. Stay tuned for more reviews later. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've seen Sasuke and Miyano and if you liked it. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.